Hey guys, so today I want to talk to you about few differences. I think I would come up with five differences between European, the continental, and the UK, the island. So this is just my opinion after living in two countries for a long time, so you don't need to take this personally. And of course you can have different view. So the first difference, the major difference, which probably you already know, is the driving. So don't mention the countries which were colonized through UK. The major difference is driving, the side of the road. So basically in Europe, we're driving on the right, in UK, we drive on the left. So yeah, that's a bit tricky when it comes to the cars. Is that not much trading between, because it's really hard and it's really expensive, especially, if you want to, if people moving back to Europe, they want to take their car with them. It's really tricky because you can drive on other side if you feel comfortable. Like for me, maybe because I'm a good driver, it doesn't make any difference. But for many people, it could be problematic because you need to sit on the other side. So everything, especially manual cars, you need to operate on the other side. And it could be a bit tricky for some people. Like, I don't really care, to be honest. I can sit in the car and drive any car. So that's the major difference, I think it is. But again, even if you're coming back to Europe, it still shouldn't be a problem. If you know how to drive, it's very easy thing. So piece of cake. So yeah, that's the first thing. The another thing which I think is the weather. So I think, in UK it's much more raining than in Europe. Europe in general, maybe not like North France or Netherlands or Denmark, is a little bit more raining, but I think the more north you go, it's more sunny and drier. So I've noticed that normally the summer and the winter in Poland is very dry. Summer is very hot, the winter is cold and dry. It's potentially more like, in Canada, etc. So it's just because, that's the climate there. In UK, it's mostly it's raining. It's cold, it's raining, it's gory, it's dark, it's not sunny at all. It's more like, it's different. So basically, if you have ever experienced like stay for longer in any of those two places, then you probably see the difference. So another point is the weather. So the third point, I say, the biggest thing is the way people approach you. So in UK is very popular is the small talks. So hi, how are you? Blah blah blah. In the continental Europe, people are very direct. So they normally don't approach you with how are you, as long as you work in the business and that's professional on your email, then maybe they do. But otherwise, it's mostly, even if you go any country, if you go, for example, Poland, and you say, how are you? Then people will come with this big list of how they are. And if they feel like rubbish, they'll just tell you, listen, my day was shit. And, I'm not feeling well. This been gone, this before, my husband is horrible, and blah, blah, blah. But you actually hear the full story, how they are. So in UK it's mostly just like, the small talks. Is sometimes, you get really confused. I think now I already learned how to switch between those two environments, but it's really confusing for some people when, and it's not even going far. I think it starts like in France. In France, people are very direct. That's why very honest, very straightforward. So, I think that's where I see the difference. It's not only between, Poland and UK, but it's like Europe, the continental Europe is very different than the people in United Kingdom. So that's the third difference. So what's the fourth difference? I think it would be cuisine. So, so to be honest, you probably know, same like in America, UK doesn't really have own cuisine. Maybe Scotland could have something, but I don't think I would like that either. So there is a lot of cuisines. There's a lot of people from past colonized countries, a lot of influence, but still their own English food doesn't really exist. It's mostly fast food, boxes packed food from across the globe, which is not good. It's not tasty. The vegetables in market, no flavor. So It's different. When you go continental Europe, you see that most of the countries, they have own unique food, they have own unique traditions, what they eat. Like for example, they eat turkey for Christmas. In Poland we have 12 dishes for Christmas. We celebrate on 24th, so as most Catholic countries, so we have 12 dishes, you know, just for Christmas Eve. And they have only turkey with roasted vegetables with no taste. So so yeah, this is like half joke, half serious, but that's what it is. And I think yeah, if you have just, you know, this momentum to explore, is just go and explore. It's basically starting in France, they have own cuisine. Norway has some, potentially, you know, Iceland even has some unique few more dishes there. And if you go Balkans, they have potentially a little bit, you know, because there's mostly Slavic people living there. They still have a lot of influence from the south, I guess. And they have this mixture, Slavic / Greek, Turkish food as well. Italy has own cuisine. Potentially Balkan food would be very similar to Polish, with a lot of herrings in the north. You know, if you're not familiar with herrings, with a lot of herrings in the north. So lot of amazing food across, you know, different regions of Europe. And the last thing when I think it's a fifth point. There is quite a few things I could bring to you, but I think the major thing is access to tested products. So again, this is something what I already said before, but for example, going in UK to the market, you're more likely gonna buy a carrot, which after you cook your soup will not add really much value to your soup. For example, you go buy carrot in market in Poland, you even go to Lidl, where it's more like local products, and you don't need to even go like farmers market or anything, but there's a lot of local products, you know, because Poland in general has quite a good ground for farms, I think, for vegetables and everything. So there's a lot of like great stuff. It's basically you go, you eat market, and it's like this deep red color, and when you put to the soup, it just gives like a lot of sweetness, a lot of flavor. Like, you know, my Sprite who did today with the lemon, it gives a lot of flavor too. So, you know, flavor first. And I think that's most of the things you buy here, and especially in London, it's like really hard to access some good farmers products. And most of the things you buy, you just cook the food and you feel like, oh, why is that food doesn't get any taste? Like, what is wrong? Like, you pay so much money, you have so much recycling, you know, all this recycling boxes go everywhere, and then you just think like, okay, I cook something, but actually it doesn't have any flavor, it doesn't have any taste. So it's like, what's wrong? And then you go, you buy the food. Even going to south, right, when I mean South Europe, I mean like Italy, Spain, they have a lot of access as well to own things, a lot of goods, there's a lot of sun, a lot of, you know, water as well. They have nice tomatoes, nice olives. In UK, nothing grows, because I think it's mostly because there's no sun and it's constantly raining. So there's not like this imbalance in nature that things they can actually grow well. I think there's everything, like you go sometimes, and when you're lucky, you have the chance to go farm and just get your things and pick up something nice, but most of the time it's not gonna work. So I'm sorry. Yeah, this is the 5 things I think, you know, that's the major thing which comes to my mind. And if I find another, you know, another points which I can bring, potentially I would, but for now that's it, and I will see you in the next video. And I also want to mention that I got my new channel is about adventure disasters, but in Polish. So if you really want to join, please do. I will send you a link. See you later, guys. Bye.